Corynebacterium, the most important members of the genus Corynebacterium, is Corynebacterium diphtheria, which causes diphtheria in humans. Corynebacterium diphtheria morphology. These are thin, slender, gram-positive bacilli, but tends to be decreased easily and measures approximately 3 to 6 micrometer into 0.6 to 0.8 micrometer. They are pleomorphic. They are club-shaped due to the presence of metachromatic granules at one or both ends. These granules are also called as a volatile or Babies-Ernst granules. These are composed of polymetaphosphates and represents energy storage depots. The bacilli are usually seen in angular fashion resembling the letter V or L. This has been called Chinese letter or cuneiform arrangement. This typical arrangement is due to incomplete separation of daughter cells after binary fission. Cultural characteristics. The corynebacterium are grown best on medium enriched with blood, serum, or egg. The growth is scanty on ordinary medium. They are aerobic and facultative anaerobic. The optimum temperature for growth is 37 degrees centigrade. The following are the usually media employed for cultivation of diphtheria bacilli. His serum water. The growth is seen as a turbidity and pedicle formation. Low-first serum slope. The colonies appears after 6 to 8 hours of incubation, long before after other bacterial growth. The colonies are small, circular, white or creamy and glistening. Tellurate blood agar medium. It contains potassium tellurate 0.04%, which inhibits most other bacteria and thus acting as an selective agent. The organism forms gray or black colonies due to the reduction of potassium tellurate to tellurium. The colonies may take 2 days to appear on this medium. Based on the colony morphology on tellurate medium and other properties, 3 main biotypes of Corynebacterium gravis, intermediis, and mitis are distinguished. The Installa agar, which contains sheep blood, bovine serum, cystine, and potassium tellurate, is one of the selective medium for the growth of Corynebacterium diphtheria. Black or brown colonies are formed on this medium. A brown halo surrounding the colony is a useful differentiating feature. The type differentiation of Corynebacterium diphtheриal strain. Morphology. Gravis, short rod, few metachromatic granules, uniform staining. Intermediis, long, poor granulation, board formed with club ends, pleomorphic. Mitis, long rod curved, predominant granules, pleomorphic. Colony on tellurate blood agar. Gravis, in 18 hours, 1 to 2 millimeter gray raised center. In 48 to 72 hours, flat colony with raised center and crenatory edges with radial striations. Daisy head colonies. Intermediis, colony on tellurate blood agar. In 18 hours, 1 millimeter in size. In 48 hours, no change in size. Dull granular center, more distinguishing periphery and a lighter ring near the edges. Frog's egg colonies. Colony on tellurate blood agar for mitis, size variable, shiny black. In 48 to 72 hours, flat colonies with the central elevation. Poached egg colonies. Consistency of the colonies. Gravis, brittle, not easily picked picked out or emulsifiable like a cold margarine. Consistency of colony for intermediate between gravis and mitis. Consistency of colonies for mitis, soft, buttery, easily emulsifiable. Hemolysis for gravis variable, intermediate non-hemolytic, mitis usually hemolytic. Growth in broth for gravis surface pedicle, intermediate turbidity in 24 hours, clearing in 48 hours with fine granular sedimentation. Growth in broth for mitis, diffuse turbidity. Biochemical test: glucose acid without gases, glucogen acid without gases, starch acid without gases. Biochemical test for intermediates: glucose acid without gas, glucogen negative, starch negative. Might is biochemical test: glucose acid without gas, glucogen negative, starch negative. Virulence for grave is severe, intermediate virulence moderate, and for virulence might is mild. Biochemical reactions: glucose A, maltose positive, lactose negative, mannitol negative, and sucrose negative. The Gravis type ferments starch and glucogen, while intermediates and mites have no action. D. Toxin. The pathogen is due to the production of very powerful exotoxin by virulent strain of diphtheria bacilli. The toxicity of diphtheria bacilli depends on the presence of beta phage. Non-pathogenic strains may be rendered toxigenic by infecting them with beta phage. This process is known as lysogenic or phage condensation. The toxin acts by inhibiting protein synthesis. It inhibits the polypeptide chain elongation in the presence of NAD by inactivating the elongation of EF2. This is diphtheria. Laboratory diagnosis: the laboratory confirmation of diphtheria is necessary for control measure and epidemiological studies, but not for treatment of cases. Laboratory diagnosis consists of isolation of organisms and demonstration of its toxicity by virulence test. Isolation of organism: collection of specimen. Two swabs from the lesions are collected. One swab is used for smear examination, other for culture. Local lesion is usually in the throat. The swabs are collected prior to start of antibiotic and application of antiseptic in form of goggles. Diet microscopy: the smear or stain with both gram and Albert stain. Diphtheria bacilli shows beaded granule, slender green rods in typical Chinese letter pattern on Albert staining. Gram staining is done to identify the Vincent's spirochetes and fusiform bacilli. Other causes of sore throat. Culture: these swabs are inoculated on the following culture medium: low for serum slope. The growth appears within 6 to 8 hours. Subculture from low for serum slope is made on telluride blood agar, and plate is incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 48 hours. Telluride blood agar. These plates have been incubated at 39 degrees centigrade for at least 48 hours before declaring these as negative blood agar. It is useful for differentiating the streptococcal or staphylococcal pharyngitis, which may simulate diphtheria. Colony morphology and staining: on low for serum slope, the colonies are small, circular, white, or creamy. Diphtheria bacilli grows as black or gray colored colonies on telluride blood agar. The smears are prepared from suspected growth from various media. These smears are stained with Albert and Gram staining to confirm the morphology of Corynebacterium diphtheria. The Albert stain shows green bacilli with bluish black metallic granules. Gram staining reveals gram positive bacilli that tends to be declared easily. Biochemical reactions: glucose positive, lactose negative, mannitol negative, sucrose negative, maltose positive, catalase positive, oxidase negative, glucogen positive, starch positive. Only gravis biotype is positive. Virulence test: these tests demonstrate the productions of exotoxin by bacteria isolated on culture. The virulence test may be done by in vitro or in vivo method. In vivo test: guinea pig and rabbit are susceptible to toxin produced by the Corynebacterium diphtheria. Two types of tests are used: subcutaneous and intracutaneous. An advantages in the intracutaneous test is that 8 to 10 strain can be tested at a time on a pair of animals, and the animal do not die. In vitro test: elk gel precipitation test is an immunodiffusion test. Toxigenetic strain produces a precipitation line. Prophylaxis: active immunization. Active immunization is started at 6 weeks of age by toxoid in combination with the tetanus toxoid and pertussis vaccine, DPT triple vaccine. 3 doses of 0.5 ml each are given by intramuscular route at an interval of 4 to 6 weeks. The booster doses are given at 18 months and 5 years. Diphtheria toxoid combines with tetanus toxoid is used for booster doses. Passive immunization: this is an emergency measure when susceptible persons are exposed to infections. In such a cases, 500 to 1,000 units of antitoxin anti-diphtheria serum (ADS) is administered subcutaneously. Sixth test. This is an intermediate test to demonstrate a circulating diphtheриal antitoxin. This test demonstrates immunity or susceptibility of a person against diphtheria, and it is one of the examples of neutralization test. Toxin antitoxin. There may be four type of reactions, namely positive reactions, negative reactions, pseudo reactions, and combined reactions. Other pathogenic corynebacterium. Many of these corynebacteria causes infections in immunocompromised patients. The disease caused by these organisms are shown in table. Diphtheroids, the commensal corynebacterium, are normally present in the throat, skin, conjunctiva, and other areas. Acute fa- acute acute pharyngitis, organism corynebacterium ulcerans, cutaneous infection corynebacterium jaicium, lymphadenitis corynebacterium ovis, infection endocarditis corynebacterium jaicium, corynebacterium xerosis corynebacterium bovis, shunt or cannula infection corynebacterium jaicium, corynebacterium xerosis corynebacterium bovis. These are sometimes be mistaken for corynebacterium and also called diphtheroids. The common diphtheroids includes corynebacterium xerosis found in conjunctival sac and pseudo-diphtheriticum corynebacterium hoffmanni, which is found in the throat. Distinguishing feature of corynebacterium and diphtheroids. Morphology: corynebacterium diphtheria weakly gram-positive and thin bacilli. Diphtheroids strongly gram-positive, short and thick bacilli. Metachromatic granule present. Diphtheroids few or absent. Corynebacterium diphtheria. Chinese letter pattern. Diphtheroids palisade arrangement. Corynebacterium diphtheria pseudo morphism present. Diphtheroids a very little pleomorphism present. Culture grow on special enriched media. Diphtheroids can grow on ordinary medium. Biochemical test. Corynebacterium diphtheria ferments glucose only and does not ferment sucrose. Diphtheroids they ferments both glucose and sucrose. Toxic productions. Corynebacterium diphtheria are toxic and diphtheroids are non-toxic.